What did and what didn't make the headlines? Okay. Hi and welcome to my first ever video on Asian Australian Haps. Isolation has got us all doing weird and wonderful stuff like dalgona coffee, baking bagels. Here's what I'm doing to keep myself sane. You can expect regular updates on Asian Australian news as it happens. It'll be short and snappy so you can continue watching Tiger King or whatever else you're loving on Netflix right now. I'll talk more about why I started this soon, but for now, here's an update on your first week of April. First on the agenda, we have to talk about racism. You're probably familiar with some of these distressing images. On the 31st of March, Sophie and Rosa Doe, aged 23 and 19, were spat on and verbally abused in Marrickville, New South Wales. It was clearly a racially fueled outlash, with a teenage woman accusing the sisters of bringing coronavirus to Australia. The viral video proved to the rest of Australia that anti-Asian sentiment is on the rise. But if you're of Asian descent living in Australia, you're already familiar with the rise of racism that has been happening since some of the earliest reported cases of COVID-19 in Wuhan, China. Here are a couple of other reported cases of racism in the headlines. On the 1st of February, a young Asian Australian mother boarded a Sydney train when a white passenger yelled at her to stand in the corner because she was spreading the virus. The incident was reported by The Guardian Australia, and at the time of reporting, there were only 12 confirmed cases of COVID-19 in Australia. Then, on 2nd of February, Iris Zhao, a journalist, was standing in a supermarket aisle with her trolley when she overheard a white lady mutter under her breath, "Asians should stay home, stop spreading the virus." Are you serious? In another incident, a man was filmed coughing and spitting at two Asian women at Brisbane's domestic airport. Sound repetitive? Last week, another man was filmed with a whip spewing out racist comments in front of a Chinese consulate in Sydney.
Wake up, Australia! Wake up, Australia! No more shit from China! No more shit from China! Death to communism! Filthy fucking commies!
Then again on April 3rd, a Melbourne bus driver was racially abused by a female passenger who called him Corona and accused him of bringing the coronavirus to Australia.
She said, "I'm bringing the virus." I said, "I was here 50 years.
These are only some of the incidents that have been reported to the media. In response, the Asian Australian Alliance has launched a survey online to record a growing number of attacks against Asian Australians. The survey has already attracted a growing number of responses, and that just goes to show just how widespread and prevalent the racism against Asian Australians is, especially in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic. Stay tuned. In a positive COVID-19 story, 140 final year med students have volunteered to help support the health system. According to the SBS, these final year students will work under supervision in a non-COVID-19 ward to help ease some of the pressure on our hospitals. International medical students make up 16% of all medical students in Australia. They're willing to help contribute, but according to their visa restrictions, they're only allowed to help up to 40 hours per week. There are calls for the federal government to ease pressure on final year med students, but we're still yet to hear their response. That's a wrap of my first video on Asian Australian Haps. I know it's been clunky, and I'm hoping that everything will improve from the sound to the delivery to the quality of the content. So stay tuned, and thank you so much for watching my first rough cut of a video. I hope some of these updates have been helpful to you. If you've got any Asian Australian news stories, feel free to send them my way so that they can be featured in an upcoming video. Thank you. My banana bread's gone cold.